Hello apples and cherries and welcome back after half term. For this term we are focusing on the topics of space and superheroes. So to start off our English for this term, we are focusing on non-fiction writing. We are going to be exploring everything to do with space. So for this week, our focus is to use our knowledge of non-fiction books and the key features of sentence writing to create an information book about space. So we're going to use key features of sentence writing to write interesting facts about space in which we will make a non-fiction book. For today then, we need to remember what non-fiction books are and understand what we use them for so that we can use this knowledge to then make our own non-fiction book. So by the end of this video, you will be able to identify a non-fiction book. Some of you may also then be able to explain the key features of a non-fiction book. And some of you may even be able to start your non-fiction book and to add in new knowledge over the week. Non-fiction books, what are they? Let's have a look at some of these pictures to see if they can help jog our memories. So non-fiction books are information books. They are things that are real. They give us facts about different subjects that we want to discuss, and they have photographs and real-life examples. Non-fiction books are different to storybooks. Storybooks are not real, whereas non-fiction books are real, and we can use them to research different subjects. So we've looked at non-fiction books before and we've sorted storybooks and information books. So we should know some of the key features of a non-fiction book. Let's just recap them. So non-fiction books are information books. They give us information about things. Non-fiction books have headings, captions and labels. So in a moment, I will show you some examples of this, but headings we find at the top of the page. Captions give us some more information about our photographs in our non-fiction books, and labels tell us what something is. Non-fiction books normally have a contents page, so we may not want to read the whole book, we might just want to find out about one specific thing inside the book. We can use the contents page to help us get to that piece of information. Non-fiction books normally have photographs in them. Most of the time there's just photographs, but sometimes you will see some drawings. Remember, photographs are things that we will take on our cameras, on our phones or in an actual camera, and they are real life things. Non-fiction books, sometimes will have a glossary. A glossary is something that tells us what words mean. So like before half term, I had a slide that explained the meaning of some of the words that we were looking at that week. A glossary does the same thing. If you're not sure what a word means in a non-fiction book, you can look at the glossary to find out. And something that we haven't looked at yet is called an index page. And an index page is very similar to a contents page, but instead of finding the whole topic of something you want to look at in your non-fiction book, an index will tell you everywhere in the book that you can find one word. So if you were looking at a book about food and you wanted to find out just everywhere in the book where it mentions the word cheese, you could go into the index at the back of the book, find the word cheese, and it will have all the page numbers where the word cheese is featured in the book. So I've gone on to Oxford Owls and I found this non-fiction book. And this non-fiction book is telling us how we can make our own book. So this arrow here is pointing to this part of the book, and this says making a book. So this is called the title of the book, and it's very clear. It tells us exactly what the book is about. So this book, I know if I was to pick it up, would tell me how to make a book. And that is the title. This arrow here is pointing to something, a drawing on the front of the book. And so this one is a drawing, but it could, because it is a non-fiction book, also be a photograph like this one down here. So remember, this is the front page of the book. It tells us the title, and it normally has some form of picture to give us an idea of what the book is about. Also at the bottom here, this is a lady's name called Liz Miles, and Liz Miles is the person who wrote this book. Can you remember what the name of those people are who write books? Well done. They are called authors. So the author of this book is Liz Mills. It doesn't say who did the pictures in this book, but if there was someone who did the pictures in this book, what would they be called? Amazing. They would be called the illustrators. Okay, so this arrow over here is pointing to some information. Let's read this information. It says, find out how books are made, from the first written word to the last printed picture. So this part of the book, if it was a storybook, we would call it the blurb, but because it is a non-fiction book, this part of the book just tells us what will be inside the book. It tells us exactly what you will find out if you read this non-fiction book. So here I've opened up the first page of the book and I've come across this. Can you read this word? You can use your thread fingers to help you. Fantastic. It says contents. So contents. Who can remember what a contents page is? Well done. We use a contents page to find out which page certain information is in the book. So if we wanted to find out about the author when they're writing books, we could look here, and there it is, the author, and we go across and we find the page number, so we can just turn straight to page number 5. So this page will always have a title, and the title of this page is the contents. These are all of the headings that you will find in your book. So these are all the headings as you turn through the pages. These will be the specific thing that those pages will be looking at. And as I said, these are the page numbers in which you will find that information. So this is on the contents page. So here I've opened up to one of the pages inside the book, and I'm going to explore all the different things that are inside this book. So the first thing that I've noticed is this here, and it says the publishing team, and this is the heading of the page. This tells us that these 2 pages are going to tell us everything about the publishing team when we talk about books. Down here are some facts. So it tells us what publishing is and some more information about it. These facts are written in sentences. So they are full sentences explaining about the publishing team. These here are photographs. So these are examples of what may be happening when the team are working to make a book. And these parts here, these are they labels or are they captions? Fantastic, well done. If it was just one word telling you exactly what it was, it would be a label. But because it explains, so this one says printer looks after the printing machines, because it explains the photograph, it is a caption. It doesn't need to be in a full sentence, it just needs to make sense. And then at the bottom here, we have a number. Who can remember what this number is for? Fantastic. It's the page number, and it tells us where we are in the book. So if we were to use our contents page and we wanted to know about the publishing team, we'd know that we'd find it on page 6 and 7. Okay, so this is the first time that you may have seen this page, and this is called the index page. So here is the word index, and that is the title of our page. Down the side here are lots of different words. So when we're thinking about the word, the book, about making books, there will be some mention of the word books in there. And we know then that if we wanted to just find out every time the word book is mentioned in this non-fiction book, we know we could look on page 3 to 10 and pages 20 to 23. If we thought, I want to know about artists in the book, you could just find the word artist at the top here, and then you'd look at the page number 7, page number 12, or page number 13. And this is called the index.
Okay, so your task today is to start your non-fiction book. So the first thing that you need to do is your front cover of the non-fiction book. So if you have a look at the PDF documents that we've put on to our Coombes website, you will see that I have given you some outlines of the pages that you might find in your book. So the first one in that PDF document is this one here, and it's the first page, it's our front cover of our book. So at the top it's got some lines where we can write the title of our book. And then it's got a box where we can draw a picture relating to our non-fiction book. And then it's got a line at the bottom where you can write your name because you will be the author of the book. So this week, as I said at the beginning of this video, we are going to be making a non-fiction book about the solar system. So our title of our book will be The Solar System. So I need to make sure it's nice and big so that I can see it. So let's write the red word the. We'll need a capital T, and then a H, and then an E. That's our red word the. And then I'll need a finger space, and then I need to write solar. So solar starts with a S. We'll need a capital because it's a title. S, O, L, R. The solar, and we're going to write system. And I can't fit it there, so I'll go into the middle here and it'll be nice in the centre. So system, solar system. My handwriting's got a little bit funny there, so I'm sure you could do that neater than me. Okay, you may know what the solar system looks like for you to draw a picture, but if you don't, you can ask the people at home to see if you can have a little look on the internet or in some books to find out what it looks like. So I'm not going to draw my picture in there because I know that all of you in Apple and Cherry are much better drawers than me. So once you've written your title and you've drawn your picture to go on the front of your non-fiction book, you then need to write who it is written by. So you will be the author of the book, so you will need to write your name at the bottom. So you will write your name, I will write my name, so my name is Miss Batten. And I will be the author and the illustrator of this book. So once I've done my front page, I then want to get my contents page ready. Can you remember what a contents page is? Well done. A contents page is what we use to help us find out specific information inside a book. So here we have the contents page. I'm just going to move my front page away so that I can move my contents page up higher for you to see. So this is the contents page. I need to make sure there is a heading or a title to my page. I'll write contents. Contents page. And then I don't know what pages I will be adding into this book yet, because I haven't learnt the facts about the solar system and I haven't decided which facts I like the most. So I'll be filling this in as the week goes on, but I can add in the page number. So this will be the first page of my book, so it will need to be the number 1. Okay, so today you can start your own non-fiction book. So you will need to make your front cover with the title of your book, draw a picture in the box, and then write your name at the bottom so we know that you are the author and the illustrator, and then start your contents page by writing the title and writing the page number at the bottom.